Good morning, good morning, good morning. My goodness, what an interesting morning as I looked out my window. It looks as stormy as all batshit out towards the northwest-ish, sort of towards Adelaide and the Spencer Gulf. They did say there was going to be some stormy weather. Lots of grey, thundery looking clouds and the wind's picking up. And yet I'm looking out my office window right now and there is blue sky, fluffy clouds tending towards grey. I think we're in for some rough weather. Anyway, I'm Boundy, psychic medium, bringing you the daily Lenormand card spread reading. Not really the weather report, though I love to do that for Michaela. It's beautiful. Beautiful the way that Mother Nature really brings forward her glory in so many different ways, isn't it? Let's go across to the cards, connecting with your psychic senses, and your spirit realm, that too. Don't forget that. Now, here we have, where's my Apple Pencil? Here it is. So here we have, we are back on a Monday. We are Monday, the 23rd of December. So we have got the Chira Marchetti's Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck again, the expanded edition. I love using this deck. It's becoming well worn. So we've got the house in the home space. Ha da-da. We've got the tower as our main theme, and we have the cross in our workspace. A very interesting little spread. It sort of feels a little dark to me, probably reflecting the fact that weather out there is so interesting, potentially. And here we have our owl card. I'll bring it up so we can see that as well. Right, a wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we like that wise old bird? I tend to do a lot of listening. It's just become one of my habits, I suppose, because it's been more of that solitary, I won't say lonely life. It's not. I thoroughly enjoy where I'm at in my life, where I'm at now with the people I have around me. And I enjoy more listening than speaking at times. And yet, last night I spoke a lot in my Boomer Press live stream. Very interestingly, I read a story, or started reading a story. I'm going to continue reading that story. It's interesting how we do move through our days and our circle of influence and where we are in life. Very interesting as we sit on that oak and listen. Okay, now I'm going to zoom into the cards, and then before I start on the reading proper, I shall see who we've got in the comments. And we have Sarah. Good morning to you, Sarah. Lovely to see you this morning. Lovely little emojis. Yes, indeed. And we have Fiona as well. Good morning, Ros Gurley, and all around the globe. Yes, we got a nice day in Adelaide, or Radelaide. That's a bit of a nickname for it, Radelaide. Anyway, yes, it is looking like it's going to be an interesting day. From my aspect further south of Adelaide, I'm seeing the storm clouds, but they may dissipate. Now we have as well, we've got good morning, Ros from Sharon. Good morning, Shaz. Lovely to see you here. And I can see that we've got Kenneth from Ontario, Canada again. And it's cold there, very much the opposite of what we're going to be experiencing here, I think. -8°C, oh my goodness, that is cold. I dare say you've got some snow and some ice hanging around there as well. And it is Sunday there still, so good evening to you, Kenneth. And here we've got Shaz saying good morning to all in Roz's world as well. Small influence, but it's interesting with the extension of the technology that we have, how big that influence is, who knows? And I just like to have connection. Very interestingly, watching a video this morning before I got out of bed. It was the Diary of a CEO guy, Stephen Barrett, interviewing a bloke, and he said one of the things that he mentioned that I say nearly all the time is that being you and what your what your arena of life is. Be you in whatever way. And I've made a clip of it. I'm probably going to make a post of it, but I can't remember the guest, but it was just so interesting that he used that phrase of being instead of doing so much. As far as humans go, we've lost that skill, that art of being. We're just doing instead of being our beingness. It was interesting. Anyway, Karen, you're saying top of the morning to you. Good morning to you, that lovely Irish in Adelaide. In somewhere. Did you say you're Adelaide? I know you said you're Australia. In Australia, I just can't remember. This is where that influence of trying to remember things I let go of years ago. And those beautiful green hearts certainly showing up. You're Irish. Lovely to see you here. And we have Sandra. Interesting combination of cards. Yeah. I have additional people for Christmas that included themselves, and that also means a sleepover. I was cross, but it meant cleaning up my spare room. That was a task in itself, but what a wonderful way to start the year ahead. Exactly. Sometimes those things that we find as an irritation turn out to be the best thing, because it does help us clear and cleanse in whatever way it needs to be, whether it's our own mental aspect of it or whether it is that's our physical space, isn't it? And there we go with Fiona. Just can you ask what's the number on the 36? Yeah, it's very hard to read, isn't it? It is a 6. That's a 6 there, Fiona. Thank you. Yes, it is Adelaide. There it is. Brighton in Adelaide. Aha, cool. Not far from some of my family. So that's nifty. A bit more influence of the Irish. Anyway, we're here for the cards, not just chat and gossip, all that. Oh, well, what's gossip? I don't gossip. Here we are. We're just chatting. And what we're coming to right now is the Tower card. Tower is a little bit more that institutionalized aspect of life. It's the governmental, it's the medical, as in hospitals and things like that. That feels to be a little more regulated and set firmly on the ground. It's that it has a long history of stability and that type of thing. So what we're looking at as our theme is that's going to be those influences that are giving us or holding us in that sense of stable aspect, whether it's control, like we know with governments. Governments are present to create laws that we as community and, as community, townships, areas, states, all that sort of stuff, it's divided. It is divisive as well, but it is divided so that we have that level of being organised, because once you get 2 or more gathered in, in big numbers type of thing in areas and the rest, you've got to have some form of organisation. So the Tower is a little more around that sense of being able to organise. We might not completely agree with all the rules that are around this type of construction of our lives, but we do need to have some form of that, because otherwise it would just be chaos. So we are putting our feet in firmly on what is a foundation of how we are operating our life today. So that's the basis of it. We do start from our individual sense of self. Have that feeling of you building from your strong foundations and what you've experienced in your life so far. There are ways and means of being able to change that. If you feel that something's not as you want it to be, make the change that you want in the world type of saying. You may have heard it over the waves at some point in time, that we are able to make change, but this does give us that foundation that is from self first, and we are going to have the influence of everybody else's, but it's the conglomeration, it's that connecting together of what are those peoples in organisations that we're needing. It is also some that we don't, but have to tolerate. If it's really something that you don't like and do, do something about it. Don't like, do something about it. Be involved and help with the changes that you want to see in the world. Okay, that's what I'm feeling with this for today. Okay, it's being involved. It's being part of the community of where we are and the global impacts as well. Okay, let's see. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee in my gigantic cup. Oops, except it's stuck on my coaster, so I'm going to have to pick the coaster up too. There we go. I just needed that bit of fluid. That chatting last night must have taken a bit out of my throat, out of my voice box. And here we have, there we go, we've got Fiona has done the numbers for us. So the day number is a 7, as you can see. Then we have the 4, 19 and 6, which is the Tao we've just read. And then we have the 17, 36 and the 6. Yep, so we've got 5 digits there, or should have. So 19, 6, 36, 6, all adds up to the 8 for the cards numbers. There we go. And Sandra, you've just popped in, a change of attitude can assist in creating a new belief. Absolutely. That's one of the ways that we can change, that we can shift things around. Well, it is understanding how our perspective is to be able to change it too. We need to have that starting point as well. Self-understanding is a very good thing. And it takes a lot of practice, and sometimes we might get it wrong. Just depends what other aspects around us are involving that attitude or perspective that we may hold that brings an understanding. Now, here we have our home space our house in the home. I just think it really does bring in that is hospitality, welcoming, and it's the right time of year, perfect for that, because we are potentially, many of us are inviting into our homes other family and friends to help celebrate Christmas time, the holiday times. It is school holidays, as well as, some of us do take holidays around this time from our workspace. Some of it's choice, some of it's forced. It just depends. But this really brings in that sense of, I can sit back, take some breaths and relax. And that's what it's feeling like for me. I know it means too that for some of us it's a lot more work because of the extra people around. That is true. Work around it, that it brings that sense of comfort, ease and relaxing and hospitality for you. That's just what I'm feeling. Just lay back, sit back, do that breathing that's going to bring you that sense of calm and being at home. It really feels to me, this card is just such a perfect depiction for me. It's not a perfect home. It's got the chaos of everything that's on its surface, but what's inside. Once we get into that door, what have you created as your inner realm that does feel like you are at home? And I'm feeling that sense of peace right now, sitting back in my chair a little even more and being able to go that infinitesimal bit slower, just to put the process of peace and feeling tranquil and allowing that slowing down to happen, so that we're not giving ourselves that ultra level of stress. Just take everything one step at a time, one breath at a time. Move through at your pace. That's going to bring that comfort and peacefulness, and everything will get done that is going to need to be done. We overextend and overdo so much at this time of year. I'm feeling that sense of, look, come in, sit down, relax. Okay? That really is all I'm going to say on that one. Okay? We'll go across to the cross. Go across to the cross. Here we go. And here we have Michaela, lovely and all around. Hello. Oh, that's a hello, lovely and all around. Isn't it amazing how the way that we say our words sometimes can change a meaning in just that little gap of space of a breath and a word spoken. Interesting. I had fun last night reading from the book. That was good. So what we have, anyway, in this respect with our cross in the home space, in the workspace, sorry, oh my goodness, it's responsibilities. It's things that we believe are going to be happening because, I'm just getting that flurry of there's a rush and all of our beliefs and things that we think are supposed to happen, and it just feels like everything's crashing in on itself because we're taking on too much responsibility is the word I'm saying or getting is that sense of, I'm running out of breath. It's that responsibility. I've got so much to do. Look, stop it. It's not all yours to do. What is your task in your workspace as we return for another day of work, potentially, for most of you, the 9-to-5ers or whatever? Even those in their own businesses, it's 24/7. I do know that feeling. I do know it. Many years of it. Anyway, it's that sense of it's so heavy a responsibility. Let it go. What I'm feeling is that sense of trust in the flow of what is the natural energy that you have for what you're doing in your workspace. Not being lazy, not being overexerted, but just shift into that flow that is yours. Allow yourself to have that shining light showing you the way, basically. Those who are Christians would, but I can't speak for all Christians, but it is that belief in Christ. It's why we're here coming up towards Christmas in 2 days' time. It's what we as humans have deemed as the celebration of Christ's birth. Did he actually get born on the 25th of December? I don't know whether there was that calendar at that time, specifically in that region. It is a proof in history there was a Jesus who was born that had a huge influence on the world, claimed as being Christ, God's Son. Belief is what you take on in your heart space as being your truth. That's what I'm feeling is know and understand what your beliefs are, even in your workspace, as to how much of what you are doing is needing to be I'm getting so many mixed messages here in the brain around this, as far as because you are working, for those who are working for another, you are earning money for a work ethic, for a job to be done and all of that. Put that into your mix of how you understand life and what you're needing to do to fulfill that purpose as well. It can be combined, and we need to trust that process, that you've chosen the right work. Excuse me, the right job, all of that. Excuse me, I'm just going to have to take a drink. I think last night might have been a bit at the tip of the scales with the voice. So take those breaths as you need to in your workspace as well. Don't take on all the responsibility of everything. Know what your task is. Know what you are doing within that realm of workspace. And be who you are. It's not all about the doing, it is being, because that phrase that I heard this morning reinforced how I understand my way of understanding is being. We are here to do things, yeah, but we are here to be who we are. So that is even within our own workspace, within how we earn our income in whatever way that is. So let the light shine from your heart out into the world. Let the light of Source shine on you to feed you. You know how the sun is actually that source of energy for plant life. It's a source of energy for our vitamin D, etc. There's a whole lot of interaction and connection here. And from this particular symbol of the cross, some we need to let go. Others we need to reinforce and understand even more deeply. And in our workspace, that can be a big thing. trust what you're feeling throughout your day-to-day as you're working. That whatever we are building, that whatever we are connecting with brings us back to our home base and feeling at peace. That this is bringing peace for us as well in whatever way that tower is. It's a tower of strength. It's the firm foundations of who we are, of that being. Building. We are growing each and every day in the way that we learn and do things, okay? I think, I'm hoping that you can understand that. Now, just going back to here, I'll go back to the comments that were last through there. And it was Michaela last. So here we have with Sandra, set so healthy boundaries. By having Christmas here, you get to say today isn't a get drunk day and have more control on alcohol intake. Healthy boundaries. Absolutely. If it's and that is, it's your home, your hospitality, your space. You can set those boundaries, can't you? Hopefully with ease. And hi Tina, lovely to see you here. You're on one of the Facebook spaces that doesn't allow your profile. That's fine. Lovely to see you as a newbie. This is a general card spread reading too. I don't do the card pulls and that sort of readings here in the mornings, assuming that you are in Australia. That's just an assumption. And yes, Fiona, thank you. Drink, one of those sustenance things of life, isn't it? And here we are from Sandra again. You're bringing some beautiful wisdoms to share with us. Thank you. Create some healthy boundaries and balance because Christmas is here. I have control of the alcohol. My guests aren't going to overindulge this year. Setting good examples for your grandkids. Excuse me, it looks like I'm going to have to go and have a good healthy drink of water, which I don't have at the moment. I've only brought the coffee in. And Keza, morning. How are you, Keza? Lovely to see you here. You might need to go back and watch the replay or the start. Doesn't matter. It's always there. I don't take it off. And Anna DeCono, thank you, Ros. Have a Merry Christmas and festive season. Thank you as well for popping in with your comment. Not sure that I've seen your name before. Lovely avatar as well. Thank you. And Michaela, beautiful emojis. Similar to Tina. Tina isn't as far as the lack of the avatar showing. Well, it's good sometimes that maybe there's privacy settings that you've chosen or not. I find the way to do things on Facebook a bit confusing, so I haven't touched mine in years, so I don't know what happens there. And Tina, you're saying NYC, I'm presuming that's New York City, so you're in the evening, are you? Lovely to have you here. I hope it's warm there. I don't know the geography of the US very well. I know New York's on the east coast, isn't it? I think. That's about as close as I can get to that. And Sandra, you thought I deleted... Oh, you thought you deleted the first comment, so you wrote a second one. Oh my God, it almost sounds like I'm raving on. No. The thing with these comments, that they do pop up as soon as you write them. They're in my studio. So even if you've deleted it where you are on the page with Facebook, it doesn't delete from the studio. So I'll see it the twice. So unfortunately, yeah, sometimes we don't, it scrolls, the comments scroll. So I don't see that it's been there before. And I think, oh, okay, so that's something added new to it. Anyway, that's just a technical issue. Don't let it bother you. It's not a big deal. But thank you for sharing. And Sarah, thank you, lovely soul. Wishing you everyone a beautiful, blessed day with love and joy. Thanks, Sarah. So nice to have you here as well. And we've got Keza saying thank you and have a wonderful Christmas to all. And Tina, you don't take lots of pictures. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's one of those things, we still have some freedoms wherever we are on the internet. We do still have methods and ways to control the presence that we put out on wherever we want to show up. Sometimes it's more controllable than others, and I just find it quite confusing with a lot of the different spaces because I'm on a lot. I have spread myself out and over the net quite broadly in some senses, and you lose track at times. Oh, that looks good. That it's like a little rabbit going to search for things, or what's the other thing, a fox or squirrel syndrome that some talk about and the rest, shiny new objects. Well, shiny new objects in Australia is pretty much the magpie. So I'm like a magpie, seeing the different things that are coming up, and I'll join in, forgetting I've done it once, I do it twice. Many instances of that. There's friends that know that. Anyway, that's continuing on when I don't need to. So thank you. So it is not really cold. Yeah, I presumed it would probably be, since I know Kenneth said it's in Canada, it's -8. Oh, that cold. And Karen, love and light, one love. Thank you so much for that, Karen. Beautiful one-liner, love it. Thank you. Love and light, one love. Yes, thank you. And Sandra, thank you. Having a lovely Christmas. It will be wonderful. Absolutely, it will be. In whatever way that you choose to celebrate, it is a day that should be an everyday. But when we bring things in that, every day, they sometimes lose their impact. So, we still need to have a Christmas day, don't we? It's still like every other celebration that we might have on our calendars that are public holidays, that are for purpose, for reason, that sometimes gets lost in time as to why are we doing this public holiday, etc., etc. There is purpose in celebrating such wonderful freedom of choice of what is our beliefs, in that. That's how I understand Christmas Day now. We have our choice to believe in whatever way we want to, with our religions, with our spirituality, with, whatever we do. And it is that is bringing the love into the world, because that's what I feel Christ represents. It is that unconditional love. It is that God source of whatever form your name for the God is, for your God, for, Christ, in love. So there. I'm not going to get preachy. It's a Monday morning. Let's go out and have an absolutely wonderful day that's starting our wonderful week ahead, because Christmas is right in the middle. Thank you for being here. Keep being the best you that you can be, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Namaste.